subtle art of not panicking like a loser. In ancient times, fear was induced for us to avoid danger and preserve our lives, as well as the tribe's survivability, to increase the tribe's survivability. This was important, and this was crucial and useful, this emotion. However, in recent times, it has been proven to be more detrimental than life-saving. You've clicked on this video, and that means that you have faced some sort of panic, some sort of emotional fear. And it is completely normal to have this emotion. But you're not here to become an average man, are you? Maybe you're panicking when you're talking to some attractive girl. Maybe you're panicking during a test, and that has caused you to underperform in these stressful situations. And now I'm going to teach you the subtle art of not panicking. Let me tell you a story. So one day I woke up. I was supposed to be an MC in my school. I was supposed to be an MC, and the assembly starts at 8:15. I'm supposed to arrive there like 10 minutes earlier, and I wake up at 7:55 like a loser. I thought I set the alarm last night, and I did set the fucking alarm, but instead of setting it to 7 a.m. I set it at 7 p.m. like a fucking dumbass. And it was crazy. I woke up like, shit, what's the time? 7:55. And I was panicking like shit. I was absolutely, my brain is going wild, random thoughts just going haywire, shooting in different directions. And I was like, okay, what do I do? Oh god. I didn't even brush my teeth. In 5 minutes, I bursted out my door and ran towards the elevator. And luckily enough, the elevator was waiting for me there. I got into the elevator, and when the door closed, it was just me in this small metal box, and I could hear my panicking thoughts just reflecting off the metal walls, bouncing back in this claustrophobic space. It's suffering me. It's very stupid. I made this dumb mistake, and now I suffer the consequences. I thought to myself, what should I do? You know, if there's a huge chance that I don't make it in time there, and you know, everyone would be pissed at me. You know, it was my duty to be an MC, right? And everyone would be pissed at me for not arriving on time. And these panicking thoughts keep plaguing my head until it's around 4th floor. I was watching the number of the display on the elevator. The numbers going down, down, and down. I watched it. It felt so slow because I was in a rush. And around that 4th floor, I realized something. Yeah, fuck. I suffer the consequences of my actions. And so now, what I can really do, is to make the best out of this shit situation. Cool word, whatever. So instantly, I removed all dumb thoughts in my head. The thoughts of panic, the thoughts that are useless. And I really thought to myself, productively this time, what can I do? And so I analyzed different scenarios. The first scenario, I take the train. There's no chance I make it that way. It takes too long. And even if I take the taxi up the mountain, my school is fucking halfway up the mountain. Yeah, I'm that Asian. And even if instead of walking up the mountain, I take a taxi there, if there is a taxi, I'll never make it in time. So the only possible way I can make it in time is to search for a taxi right then, the moment I get out of the elevator and leave my apartment. That is the only chance I get. And the chances of a taxi appearing at your doorstep is near zero, right? Well, depending on where you live, but at my location, it's rare. But I knew that was the only chance I get, even if it was low. And now, if I kept on panicking, if I didn't think calmly, I would have not reached this conclusion. Now you will see why it is important to think calmly and to find the best possible move you can make in any situation, no matter it is good or bad. So finally, I reached ground floor. I bursted out of the elevator. I dashed outside of the apartment and I started looking for a red taxi. Just searching, looking left and right, running around. So I saw two taxis. I dashed towards it. It was empty. No one's there. I felt that panic coming up from inside me. But I knew that this was not the time to panic. And I looked around. And by some miracle, I saw this red taxi just not far in the distance, turning into an intersection right there, and it's heading towards where my apartment is. And I immediately ran towards it, hoping that it'll let me in. There's someone in there, of course, but that was my only chance. And so I ran towards it, and by some miracle, that person at 8, that would be 8:05 a.m. That person was getting off at somewhere near my apartment at this early morning. By some miracle, the taxi stopped and that person got out. So I was running towards the taxi. The taxi was about to leave. The door closed, the engine was starting, the car it's about to go on its way, and I just pulled open the door. I was breathing. I was exhausted. I was breathing heavily. I pulled open the door, and that taxi driver was absolutely shocked to see this guy in a school uniform, just messy as hell, and asked in deep breaths, Can I get on a taxi? And so I got on the taxi. It was 8:05, and I finally got my breath and explained to the taxi driver what kind of situation I'm in. And I knew it was expensive, but it didn't matter at the time. So I was on the taxi. If I did panic, and I just stood outside my apartment going, oh no, I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm fucked. Well, of course you're fucked. There's no chance. If you don't take action and play the best moves, then you have no chance. Of course it was a miracle that a taxi was just there. Of course it was a miracle. However, I learned that if I did panic, even when that opportunity came here to save me, I would not have saved myself. I would not have saved myself. That's the thing. You might be in a horrible situation, and it might seem hopeless, but the only thing you can do at that time is to play the best move. And maybe when opportunity arrives to save you, you're ready for it. maybe, the taxi could not have arrived. I would be standing outside just searching for a taxi, and I would be late. But because I did not panic, when opportunity arrived, I took full advantage of it. And back to the story, I was on the taxi. There was a traffic jam, and it's taking a bit longer. I apologized to the teacher and stuff. He's mad, understandably. And so I was just sitting, because there was nothing else I can do now. I felt my panicking thoughts arising. And so I thought to myself, okay, what's the best move I can play right now? We're stuck in a traffic jam. It's going to take a bit longer. So I thought to myself, alright. The teacher told me that, he can do without me. It's just going to be annoying. So, the best move I can do now is to just stay calm. Right? Because there's nothing else I can do. And although I fucked them up, they said that they can run the show without me, and everything's alright. People fucking hate you, but that's your problem. So the best move I can do now is stay calm and admit to your faults. That's what's important. And when I arrived at school, it was already 8:20. So it was 5 minutes late. I arrived at school. So I thanked the driver. I gave him the money. And, I could be hopeless. I could have just given up, submit to my panicking, like, well, I'm late. I'm gonna be scolded. There's no hope. I could have done that. But, I didn't. I used every last ounce of my energy just sprinting towards the school hall. Maybe with this hope in mind that I could get into the hall before my part. So I ran towards the hall. Everyone's just listening to it. I stood outside, and the show's running, right? And I was like, oh fuck, I'm late. But I look closely. Wait. Those guys, wait, that's a book report program. They're doing book reports. That's not my part. And I realized, wait, no. My part's after the book report program. So I was like, yo, I was on time. I was ecstatic. I was on time. So I just told the teacher standing outside the hall, yo, I gotta go up on the stage. Let me in. I just ran past everyone's standing there listening to the program, right? I just dashed past. Everyone's looking at me. Fuck, I didn't care about them. Boom, dashed past. Ran up the stage, behind the stage. Or not this stage, not the big stage. I ran behind it, came up, and somehow I got there just on time, just before my part started. So now there's a lot of miracles that happened there. But what was the lesson I got out of this little story? And that is the importance of staying calm and being hopeful. If I didn't stay calm, if I was panicking, then I would have missed the opportunity to get on that taxi. If I just stood there in fear, I couldn't make it, and just dive deep into my insecure thoughts of being scolded by the teacher. And if I didn't stay hopeful, I wouldn't have ran towards the school hall, and I would have missed my part. And that is why it is so important for us to remain hopeful and calm in the worst situations. There is still a slim chance that opportunity could arrive and save you. And you have to be ready to take advantage of it. Keep this in mind. Even in absolute chaos, there might still be a chance of opportunity. And that you must be ready to take it. If you keep this in mind and you maintain peaceful, well, not peaceful, at least calm, right, and not panic during these situations, and you understand that yes, you cannot change what has already happened. But can you make the best out of it? Absolutely. That's the only thing you can do, right? You can't panic. That's the only thing you can do. Now, if you're panicking before something big, or you're panicking because you made a mistake, understand this. The only thing you can do now is to perform your best. And that is why you must get yourself together. Understand that things aren't going to change because you're panicking. And things might actually change for the worse because you're panicking. And so the only thing you can do, the only thing and the best move you can play here, is to just make decisions and analyze the situation calmly and take action. Stay hopeful and try your best. I hope this has helped you.